Hello, hello. This is not Candace. This is actually Pearcey, and we're trying to do the podcast without her. So, Rob, no pressure.
And I'm still Rob Mackay. And that's still Pearcey, but that's
My
not
hello,
Candace.
hello was not as good as Candace's. Let's
No,
face it.
definitely not. Definitely
Candace,
not.
please come back quickly. I believe she's having a holiday in the Bermudas. Is that right?
Well, I think you're half right there, Pearcey.
Holiday?
Holiday,
And
yes.
It starts with B.
But I think we might have gone the wrong way directionally, and the temperature's probably a little bit different.
Mate, I went for a bike. I've just gotten off the bike, just gotten in the shower. That's why I'm sitting here holding myself together. Minus 5.2 this morning on the bike.
Is that actual or feels like?
No, that was actual.
Oh.
It feels like about -9, and it was brutal. I'm embarrassed to say I wore ski goggles on the bike this morning. I looked like a proper loser, but no one else was out, so it didn't matter.
I don't think there's anything embarrassing about that. That sounds eminently sensible.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast this week saying do something hard. It keeps you young. I thought, I feel so young. I feel so young.
I don't think it's going to make you hard, but frozen perhaps.
Yeah. What'd you get up to on the weekend, Rob? I went and watched a little bit of one of our listeners, Andrew Gray. Shout out to Andrew. Doing a great job. Emus v Bathurst. Bathurst, as I think we've alluded to, are having a hard season. They came back in the second half and had a much better performance, but no, it was a very one-sided match. And I watched a new referee step up into a second-grade game, and he was out of his depth, poor bugger, but he's doing a great job. Had a good chat to him afterwards, and yeah, there's lots of opportunity there.
So a double mod for you, Pearcey, was it?
I actually didn't do any of the modding. I was an unofficial capacity. We actually had the great Lord Matthew Tink there in the official mod capacity, so I'll let him do all the hard work.
And he would have flown under the radar because you don't really notice Tinky when he's in the room, do you?
He's just shy retiring.
Small
fella just stays in the
diminutive
background.
type.
Like a ninja. It's very hard to see.
I always think of Tinky as a ninja.
Yes.
More blitzkrieg, really, but okay, that sounds like fun and good weather, I think, west of the divide. So
yeah, Saturday was beautiful, actually. It was a lovely day.
Saturday was gorgeous here too. After a fairly damp week, we'd had sort of 60+ mils of rain, so
nice.
Everything was moist. So
I'm led to believe that we are done with rain for the time being.
I hope so. We've had more than an elegant sufficiency.
You hope so. We have a drought coming. That's what I'm hearing. So we could do the little throw it over the hills, please.
I'm more than happy to do that. I'll stand on the front doorstep and blow.
In fact, I've
west.
got to say, our long-range weather forecast in God's country out here, it's not great. Summer could be really tough. I'm buying up big on feed at the moment for my poor malnourished cows.
Yeah, right. Feed and air cons, I reckon. Yeah. So it was a gorgeous day in Sydney on Saturday. So that was wonderful.
You were trend-setting, were you? I heard a little skite.
I am trend-setting, Pearcey. Absolutely. What a funny old day it was. I had a great old time. I headed up to Windsor. And
anyone who doesn't know Sydney geography, that's about as far out before you're no longer in Sydney. Just keep driving west until you get to the Blue Mountains and then just pretty much stop there.
Yeah, pretty much. You cross the river at Windsor and you're out of Sydney. So, yeah, lovely day up there. It's a lovely oval, wonderful aspect. It was quite soft underfoot, but in a nice way. It wasn't muddy. It was just, I think if it was a horse racing
plays out of there?
Hawkesbury Valley.
Cool.
Not surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're playing the boys from Sydney Harbour. So
nice.
Yeah, that's very much a coach trip, and they had a coach.
Two ends of Sydney.
Absolutely.
East, west, west.
Yes, north, south, however you want to characterise it. It's certainly two extremes. Look, a great day had by all, except for one fella who. The game was so good that at halftime I was talking to the captain who was on the scoreboard before the kickoff, and he was saying to me, "How good's this? What a beautiful day. We've got footy on all afternoon. When we get home, we're going to watch this test. He was a Kiwi, and we're having a great time here. You're having a great time. Chat. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Everyone's having fun. Really good vibe. No dramas." Then the home team made a sub in the second half, and the sub's first interaction was a major blow-up. It's like, okay. So a quick chat, and said to the captain, don't want to see him again, because if I do see him again, he'll be over there. Okay. They very wisely subbed him off shortly thereafter.
Well coached.
Well coached, super smart, and the game went back to normal. Then we had a ball kicked out over on the sideline near the technical zones. I go back to play an advantage, I turn around, and there's a stink, an all-in stink. This kid's run 25 metres off the bench, shouting, swinging, pushing. It's like, okay, well, that's pretty easy. Separate the teams, 2 captains together, no more of that. And that guy off the bench, red card.
Red card. Now, just to be clear, he wasn't in the 15 on paddock.
Nope.
So the red card doesn't mean they play a player short. It just means he can go home.
He can go. He can leave.
Just like our Italian friend with the kid.
Indeed.
On Saturday night.
Indeed.
Here's the trend setting. I love it.
Indeed. I was about 6 hours ahead of the kid. So
was your guy as sheepish as the Italian guy?
Well,
did the camera zoom right in? And he's got much sheepishness.
It was pretty funny because I've refereed this guy once before, I realised.
And he's now 2 from 2?
He's 2 from 2.
Can we call that a serial pest?
He's just a slow learner. Seriously, dude. And the last time he got 2 yellows and the second one was yellow turned to red because he accused me of being a cheat.
Excellent.
In a match where his team was losing by 50.
Excellent. Nailing the big ticket items. That's what we love to see from our bench players. Impact.
Impact player. So that was an interesting day. And then I went and watched Australia play Italy at one of the local pubs with a room full of referees. So that was pretty good fun too, I got to say. And it was so nice to see our boys send Joe off on a high. So. And
yes,
we'll come back to that in a minute.
It was a great. Why don't we delve into it? I really enjoyed the Wallaby game. It was
Dive
great.
in. Yeah.
Yes, it was a fairly one-sided game. They played very strong. Bobby Valentini's run, that was sensational. Holy smokes, Bobby! Just bang, and then the 2-step to full speed again, bang.
Yeah.
I think he beat 5, didn't he?
Oh, well, being the operative word.
And beaten senseless. The 2 that bounced off, he beat them in about a 4-metre stretch. Just kept bull-barring them.
It'd be fair to say the Italians look like they've been touring for 3 months.
Yeah. They look like they were ready to go home.
Yeah, which is funny on a 3-week tour, right? So, and that's one of the yins and yangs of this new format. All the Europeans going, oh, we're tired, it's the end of the season. Well, I don't know if you noticed.
Buttercup.
But in November, that's exactly the same for us. So that's just the way it works, and it has forever. So, it's the championships tried to add
It's the first year of this format. There's a few little bugs to iron out, but I got to say, a lot of the teams, you're just going to have to get used to travelling. The Southern Hemisphere teams do it on a weekly basis. The Northern Hemisphere teams, it's a 30-minute hop to anywhere in Europe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Toughen up, Buttercup.
Trip. Yeah, that's right.
It was a great tournament. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, a few tweaks in the format, but it was fantastic, and was fantastic for our refereeing team as well. I think we got a little bit of continuity there, and we saw some fatigue in our refereeing team on the weekend too. It was great. Let's get back on the schedule. Candace will be devastated if she sees me hopping all over the place, as usual.
We might get a red card, Pearcey.
Under-20s tournament done?
Under-20s done, yeah. South Africa back-to-back, knocked off the French, who'd won previous titles. So there's a real trend there too, the top of the North and the top of the South in under-20s, as well as in big boys rugby. So...
And can I say congrats to our ref?
Yes.
Well done,
yes,
Rubes.
So the referee appointments for the final came out just after we dropped our recording last week. So
I think I had closed off our podcasting tech and I saw the appointment. I was very, very pleased for him. So well done, Ruben.
Yes. So just to tie that up, the under-20s final was refereed by Ruben Keane from Australia. The ARs were George Selwood and Gonzalo de Achaval, and Paulo Duarte was the TMO. So very exciting. So yeah, well done, blokes. Big match. And I think that's the first time an Australian's been on a world final
for a long time,
quite some time. I think the last person was probably Will Houston.
Did Bez get one?
I'm not sure.
We have had a few. I know Lek got one back in the day. I know Matty Goddo got one way back in the day.
Yeah. But I'm just going most recently. Yeah. So yeah, that's a big achievement. So very happy about that. Interestingly enough, the coach of the winning team in the under-20s was Kevin Foote, who many will know from his time at the Rebels.
Mm.
So originally South African, so he's gone back to South Africa, slotted quite seamlessly
Yep.
into their system, and
Big shoes to
voila.
fill. That's what you need a foot for. Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
Here all week.
Well, you know what?
Did see some pretty upsetting news during the week. Amy Barrett,
Duran, yeah.
Duran, best of wishes to her. She stepped down to deal with some breast cancer.
Yeah.
Really sad to see because she's one of our all-time GOAT referees there in the women's matches. So best of luck for Amy.
Yeah, and that's pretty brutal, and it's pretty, it's a hard case. But I was talking to some people over the weekend, and everyone is rallying around her because she's just such a good human. So
yeah, and it's eminently beatable provided it's caught in time. So hopefully it's been caught in time.
And all reports are she got early. All our support and love to you, Amy. And I know everyone's wrapping their metaphorical arms around you. And look, it's an interesting challenge from a match official point of view too, because our female referees have to deal with two things that blokes generally don't. Pregnancy and breast cancer. So an added layer that we need to accommodate.
Yep, absolutely. So best wishes to Amy as she deals with that and her family.
Yeah, and speaking of referee support, there's actually a new match official abuse sanction process.
Oh, great segue, Rob.
Oh, I know, right? I know. Segue, Sam. And it got rolled out pretty quickly. So the Italians, having been thumped fairly comprehensively in Perth, may lay blame on the fact that their coach wasn't there because he'd been given a whack. Gonzalo Quesada, for his comments, post-match comments in the previous test. So he initially had a 2-match ban that got downgraded to 1. So he was nowhere near the action on Saturday night. And that's a shot across the bows to all coaches. And I would argue that there might be some national unions that might need to check their bank balances because the standard has been set fairly high, as it should be.
And we did see some post-match comments on the weekend. I'm going to point my gaze eastward towards the south of America, perhaps, who has also levelled some blame outside of his controllables, and hopefully he gets a slap across the wrist too. But you look at, there's a few coaches we've spoken of previously who do tend to lay blame at the feet of the officials, and it's not okay. So, World Rugby, keep that up. Thank you very much. Should we talk about some games?
There's plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the hottest one on the weekend was Argentina, England, not surprisingly.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We saw the Argentinians getting beaten in the rugby and the soccer.
Yes.
Let's talk about the rugby. 7 yellow cards, that's a highlight of the game. That's the headline.
Well, it's a measure of the game, really, isn't it?
And
it's the pulse.
Both teams, I have heard a fair bit of commentary saying that all 7 were warranted.
Well, the interesting thing for me is, in our ref squad, we chat about trying to minimise penalty counts, and a couple of our referees are doing really good jobs on it. Penalty counts under 6 for a whole match, and I mean that's awesome. But the players have got to buy in, and if the players don't buy in, it doesn't matter whether you're Gus Gardner or not. You're not going to get a match like that, and this is a classic example.
And if I was to draw a ring and throw the 3 teams least likely to buy into that, we've got 2 of them in this game, with South Africa not participating here. So if you wanted to stamp your authority on the game, the 3 teams that won't listen as a referee, Argentina and England would be the 2 worst offenders along with South Africa. I'm not surprised that the game went this way, and unfortunately for Gus, there was some pretty ugly incidents in the game, especially post-match. Have you seen the footage of him walking off, getting some projectiles thrown in? That's just not cool, people. Regardless of whether the referees had a good game or a bad game, that is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
So well done for Gus holding his head high through that, and it was a tough game. We actually spoke about it beforehand. That's a pretty tough appointment. You always knew that was going to be tough.
Yeah. And it wasn't helped by the circumstances of the match coming a couple of days after the soccer equivalent, which was suitably emotional. And then the Argentinians in the rugby wearing a one-off strip, which had some soccer throwbacks from what I understand. So, yeah, poke bear, poke bear, poke bear. And the English poked right back with interest. I mean, the English had 4 yellow cards.
As they do.
The Argentinians had 3.
Yeah, I've got to question the tactics there from England. The Argentinians bring some Latin passion. And you know how we're going to fight it? We're going to go more passion back at them. So, and I'm not surprised. They've been down that road before, England.
Well, their discipline recently has been really poor. They've taken the mantle happily from Australia because our discipline in recent times had been poor. We'd had lots of yellow cards. We've sort of reversed that trend somewhat, but England have picked up that mantle with gusto.
I'm going to celebrate the fact that the Aussies are not the combative captaincy anymore. We've had some captains that are very combative with the referees, and they're not at the moment.
Yeah.
Argentina and England were very combative with the referee, and that's not a good thing for the game.
No, there wasn't a lot of ref whispering going on. Montoya, I thought, was the better of the two captains. The English one was far more pokey, whiny.
Yeah. I'm not going to say he was good. I'm going to say I agree with you, is the better of the two, but not good.
Yes, absolutely. They're not the barometer you want to look at.
No.
And they make Harry look better.
Yeah.
I mean, Harry's getting better. He's got some upside still. But, it was look, what do you say about the game?
I reckon Gus would have slept well afterwards.
Oh, I reckon he would have been emotionally exhausted. And you could see he was on the throttle the whole game, on the limiter the whole game, just because the amount of pressure that he was under from everyone, and he held his line. I think some referees wouldn't have given some of those yellows because they would have been overcome, but here we are. But, there were some other layers as well. So you had Brett Cronin in the TMO box, which really helped, but he wasn't getting a lot of help from the director for whatever reason. And I don't know whether that was a partisan thing or whether it was a technical thing or a language thing or a
felt
combination.
Like a partisan thing.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this just last week. There is really an argument for a neutral bunker when we've got that, where the TMO and the foul play review officer control what they see. It still relies on the home cameras pointing at the things that we want them to point at, but at least they can control what they see from that footage. So there is a strong argument for that.
And we're going down that path. It would have been ideal, particularly, for the high impact decision at the end and also there was one in the 60th minute where Brett was trying to get the director to play some angles and he couldn't get him behind the scenes. So he actually sent the comms through the public channel via the ref's channel saying, "Director, I can't get you normally, so I'm putting it through the public channel here." It's like, well,
just to make sure that everyone knows this is on you, not me.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I quite like that, public shaming.
I quite like it as well. Brett's very direct with that sort of stuff, so well done.
Man, we could probably ramble on about that all day, but look, as far as refereeing appointments go, that's a tough one, and I think Gus can hold his head high, albeit it was not a spectacle for rugby. Do you want to talk about a spectacle for rugby? I thought New Zealand-Ireland was a great game to watch. I really enjoyed that.
There was a lot happening, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, and it was clean, open rugby mostly.
It was.
There's a little bit of emotion from our green friends.
Well, again, captaincy.
Combative captaincy, yeah.
Just completely whiny. Whine. And you don't win the referee over.
That's not how to win a referee discussion. And the New Zealanders are actually doing quite well at the moment. They're just basically taking him out of the equation. Well,
I don't remember hearing Artie saying anything except when he was spoken to and acknowledging that he was spoken to.
Yep.
And that was it.
Message received. Let's go and do it, boys.
Yeah. Whereas Shane was, yeah. And, I had Sydney Irish here a couple of weeks ago, and they were the same.
And you can't understand them.
Well, there is that, particularly with their mouth guard in. It's like, I need subtitles here. I haven't got a clue. You might be complimenting me.
We can just go on.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. What else do we have? Tour de France is on. Have I mentioned that?
Oh, Pearcey. You're a shocker.
Unfortunately, Tour de France is effectively off, although we've just seen what a crash can do to the general classification with Jonas Vingegaard having a horrible crash, breaking his collarbone by the looks of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
And did he take out the
place.
pack?
There was a moment where the yellow jersey, Tadej Pogacar, his teammate who was directly behind him, had a choice of hitting the deck himself or taking out the team leader. So, like all good team men, he hit the deck himself and then managed to get up and finished third on the stage, which, so the UAE team dominating. But we had a rest day last night, and we've got the French Alps tonight, so it'll be very, very interesting.
Nice.
So, actually, the young rider classification this year, that's really exciting, really, really exciting. We've got a Frenchman, a Mexican, and I think Lipovitz might be German, but I'll have to check on that.
Sounds like a really bad joke.
But it's great. It's great viewing, and the green jersey too. It's on like Donkey Kong. So we had an Australian team stage win the other night, but we still need an Aussie on the podium this week. That's my dream scenario. Let's get back to rugby, hey?
Yes, a little segue, Sam, there. I mean, we're connecting the yellow cards with the yellow jersey. That's the best I can do on that one.
Talk to me about your Stats Central.
Stats Central, 41. That is the number of teams that changed their ranking after last weekend.
Goodness me. Have we had a weekend of such turmoil? Not in recent memory.
No, 41 ups and downs. That is extraordinary. And
that actually is.
Yes. And we've got the Nations Cup and the Nations Championship going, but we've got some other games floating around as well. So there's action aplenty. And, the Nations Cup and the Nations Championship's really interesting because the Nations Championship is actually run by SANZAAR and the Six Nations. Because it's got the six from each hemisphere, so-called. Let's not go there. The Nations Cup is a World Rugby tournament. So we've got different processes. So the judiciary, for example, for our Italian friend is being run by SANZAAR. The judiciary for the Nations Cup is being run by World Rugby. So we're seeing some slightly different protocols there.
You're not suggesting that the two disciplinary processes are worlds apart, are you?
Well, they're different hemispheres. Half worlds apart.
I have a very funny story about Deepest, Darkest Africa where the losing team, as a way of gaining some form of payback for getting robbed what they believe was a fair result, the judicial officer, who, fair to say, was 20 brandies deep, cited two players on field. I had seen them and I deemed one yellow and one penalty sanction only, and on review of the footage I agreed with my original decisions categorically. Sanction for a judiciary must be red card or worse, and neither of these met those thresholds. However, the two touring players were in a town we'd never been to, up in Deepest, Darkest Africa, Kimberley, home of the biggest diamond mine in the world.
Yep.
We had an impromptu Sunday morning judicial lynch mob gathered, and I think Ian Foster was the coach at the time, and he implored me, "Can you please hang around? I think my players may get hung." And fortunately, sanity prevailed when I got up and said, "Mate, neither of them meet a red card threshold, full stop." Well, it's pretty hard to suspend them for the 8 weeks we'd originally wanted to levy against them.
Ooh, partisan.
Yes,
much.
Partisan. One of the two, can I say non-offenders, was Richard Kahui, who gave me a pair of boots not that many months later when I forgot them at a test match. So I was very thankful for a little bit of karma coming back around. Yeah, it was a very funny event.
Richard, shout out to Richard and his family. He's a lot of his family literally live around the corner from me. So good bunch, the lot of them, the Kahuis.
He was a fair footballer. Footballer.
Absolutely.
He'd done a no arms tackle in this game. It was a yellow every day of the week, but it was a yellow. It was definitely not a red.
Yeah. World Cup winner too, just quietly. Yeah. Yeah, good human too.
Cool.
So Super Rugby Women's. So we have a final coming up.
Pending.
So
I would imagine the match officials would know who is doing the match, but we don't. Is that fair?
We do know who is in the middle. So take a bow, Ella.
Yes.
So congratulations.
I'm interested in who the ARs are.
I don't know, but I suspect it's going to be Amber and Jess.
Nice.
They did the semi-finals. and I think Rachel might be in the TMO box. Haven't had that confirmed.
I did get a message from Rachel during the week. We were talking last week about a referee with a double hip replacement getting back on the field. And yes, Rachel, there's nothing wrong with that. Very supportive of the hip replacements.
Absolutely.
It was great to see my friend back in the middle with the double hip replacement. He was doing very well. I had a really good chat with him again after the pod last week and got a fair bit out of my modding despite how incompetent I can be at the actual paperwork.
So the Super Rugby Women's Finals on Saturday. It's in Ba, and it's between the Drua and the Tars. The Tars who beat the Force in Perth in the double header.
They're doing it the hard way, the Tars, aren't they?
They're doing it the hard way. The Force will be massively disappointed because I think they really fancied their chances, but the Tars came out and just blew them off the paddock and never got back to it, really.
And as a reward for their poor start to the season, the Tars, they've had to fly to the westernmost extremity of the comp, and now they're going to fly to the northernmost extremity of the comp.
Yeah, that is 100% correct, Pearcey. So they're going to earn their title if they win it. And
they're after frequent flyer miles. They're getting them.
Yes. Speaking of other match appointments, there's a lot of Test match rugby coming up.
Yes.
And the match officials know what they're doing, but they haven't been announced. So we've got the next round of men's tests coming up. We've got the tour between New Zealand and South Africa. That'll be big. Australia and Japan are on in a couple of weeks. There's a few other test matches floating around as well. Plus, you got WXV in the women's. So we can't be far off seeing those announcements formally. So let's hope they come out shortly so everyone knows.
The second they do, we'll share them.
We will share them. So that's all very exciting. Speaking of travel, do you know what I'm doing this weekend, Pearcey?
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'd expect to know what you're doing.
I'm heading to Aotearoa.
Have you got the exchange?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you know which game you've got?
No, not yet. I haven't heard which game I'm on yet, so looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll hear that today. Off to North Harbour, so shout out to our Kiwi listeners and particularly those in the North Harbour Association. I will see you on the weekend. Really looking forward to this.
Yes, that'll be fantastic. Some good footy up there in North Harbour.
Yeah.
What's the forecast over there? Dour. Windy?
That's one of my jobs today. Have a look at the weather and work out how many layers I need and how many suitcases. But
I'm using all of mine, sorry.
Break it to me gently, Pearcey. Is it good news or bad news?
Just having a little look. Saturday, rainy, 14 max, minimum of 10. That's actually quite pleasant.
Yeah,
it doesn't tell me how much rain, but it's got sunny and rain. They can't be too bad.
Okay. No, it's all right.
Current conditions, 11 degrees, feels like 11. That's good. That's good for there.
No, that is good.
Well, that'll be very exciting. I'm still on the injured list out here. Haven't yet been told who I'm going to mod.
We got surgery in a couple of weeks too,
Any listeners want
right?
to send me a video? Yeah, 3 weeks yesterday. Looking forward to it. The ankle's really starting to play up. It was sore on the bike this morning.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you can fix it. So, Law of the Week.
Law of the Week. Give it to us.
Well, I thought we might go down the path of duties of the referee during a match.
Ooh, Law 6.
Indeed.
Is it 6 has got about 12 lines, I think. I'm going to say 4 or 5 duties of the match.
Well, Law 6 as a whole actually has quite a bit in it these days. It's got 30-odd subsets. But we're going to 5, and the heading is duties of the referee during a match.
That's right. We expanded with all the TMO stuff.
And 5 is, and the opening line is really important, within the playing enclosure.
So the playing enclosure includes the grounds, the stadium, etc.
Well, it particularly includes the technical zones. A, the referee is the sole judge of fact and of law during a match. The referee
Does it not mention the referee and his match official team?
No. Oh, sorry. It doesn't in the PDF. Let me see if
within the playing enclosure, the referee alongside the other appointed match officials.
Yes, because that is one of the upgrades that we've had.
And is that correct?
Recently.
Is that correct grammar? The referee, along with the other appointed match officials, is the sole judge. If we're talking about a group of people, they are the sole judges.
Yeah. So
and can you be sole if there's 5 of you?
That's very good, Pearcey. So this is one of the changes. I was originally reading from the PDF at the start of the year, and you've quite rightly pointed out I should have been reading from the app because this reflects a lot of the housekeeping that's been done in the last few weeks. But the tenet of the meaning is still the same. So yes, grammatically or otherwise, duties of the referee during a match within the playing enclosure, the referee alongside the other appointed match officials is the sole judge of fact and of law during a match. Match officials must apply the laws of the game fairly in every match.
Which I love. And all players should know if you're saying to them 6-5A that they just shut up and accept it because I am the sole judge. Doesn't work at home.
You got to be kidding.
No, my wife won't accede to the authority of Law 6-5A at home.
Yes, well, because you're outside the playing enclosure, Pearcey.
Of course.
Devil's in the detail. And just to add to it, 6.6, the referee permits access to the playing area for players and replacements when it is safe to do so. Indeed. So highly relevant.
If you've got a fairly hard-hitting Bobby Valentini carrying the ball, I don't think it's ever safe. Unattainable, 6-6.
Well, one might argue when it's safe for the referee. And even then...
Can I encourage all listeners, if you haven't seen Bobby Valentini's run late in the second half, it is sensational. I think Jorgo scores the next phase, doesn't he, untouched?
There's got to be a meme somewhere. Someone, and I think I know who's going to do it. Someone's going to meme this up, and it's going to go to some appropriate music, and it's sort of going to be boof, boof, boof.
Yeah.
you can have a lot of fun with that.
He went beast mode.
Oh, beast mode. And it's nice to see him in form because he makes such a difference to our shape.
He does.
We played with much better shape and we held it for much longer, which was really interesting too because the Kiwis had really nice shape for most of the match. When Ruben Love went off, they lost their shape.
He's a form player at the moment and he really is their talisman at the moment.
And his combination with D-Mac is working nicely. Ruben went off and D-Mac stepped up. And, there are other subs as well. And it's the end of the match fatigue, the game's won, etc. I get that. But they just the intensity dropped off. And I think we saw that trend in a lot of the games. The benches weren't as deep and the games petered out a little bit.
Yep.
Conversely, you go to the England-Argentina game, the game didn't really peter out. The quality
but it never really got
did.
Going either.
Well, but
it didn't seem to be played with the same speed as some of the other tests.
No, and like Bez did a fantastic job with the Irish. The Irish were stopping at every opportunity. And at one point, he had another guy down for, I think it was a contact lens. He said, no, mate, you've already had one of those. We're playing on. Boom, up he got. In the Argentinian game, they were going down right, left, and centre there as well. One stage, Gus actually said, I don't care. And,
we all know he does. He's a carer.
Yeah, he absolutely does care. But I understand why he said that because they're just taking the piss. They're delaying the game. And that's not what it's about. And it even went to the final 5 minutes where the Argentinians had a yellow card advantage and they were trying to set scrums. And the English were delaying the scrums as much as they could. And the Argies are brought right into that. That was rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
You got a yellow card advantage. Don't set a scrum when you got 3 minutes to go and you need to score 2 tries to draw the match. That's just poor game smart.
They got into that belligerent mindset, and I think they're very hard to reason with when they get there, the Argies.
Yeah, well, and it probably cost them because they had moments
they were very much in the mix there for a lot of that game.
They had great enterprise when they focused and they took advantage of their numerical advantage, but then they just continued to do brain farts. So that was, if you want to watch some good footy, watch Australia-Italy, watch New Zealand-Ireland, maybe ball and play to get rid of all the stoppages from the Irish. I imagine France and Japan was probably, I haven't seen it, but that would have been entertaining. And probably watch the Super Dub.
Absolutely.
I'm
looking forward to getting into club footy this weekend. That's going to be the extent of my rugby watching, I reckon. Oh, no, what's the Super Dub final?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be 2 hours closer to it, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to watch it, but that'll be one of my challenges.
Yeah.
I have to watch that on the plane on the way home. So
You'll manage.
I'll find a way.
You'll find a rugby friendly over there.
Yeah, there might be one or two in Auckland. What do you reckon?
Exactly, mate. Travel well. Travel well. Candace normally does our wrap-ups. Like and subscribe. That's what she says, something along those lines.
Well, she does, and I think that's wise words, because if you follow us, you find out more sooner. So
yeah, you two can be smarter after these podcasts by listening to us.
Yes, even if we're not. So
yeah, tell a friend, because we're not going to get much better. This is what it is. And look, I'm sorry Candace wasn't here to add some polish to our podcast. Rob, we were pretty average as always. I did like you bringing in 658.
Yeah, 658 had to be done. 658, and throw that in with Law 9 as well. Tick that box, and voila, there we are. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the little red button, because that's important. Subscribe. If you're listening to us on the pods, subscribe there as well, and drop us a note, ask us a question, and keep on listening.
We'll do our best not to stuff it up.
Oh no, we'll do our best to stuff it up, because that's what we do, Pearcey.
Absolutely. And you normally say something. Jouet. What, Candace? I don't remember what she says. So, and I don't say anything. I'm done.
You're done? All right. Until next week. Jouet.